Hey, what's going on everybody? My name is Ian and welcome back to another graded card video. Apologize, this video probably took a little bit longer than what I expected to, but I recently just moved into a new house, so I've been kind of living out of boxes and everything and picking up orders and just kind of shoving them in closets until I got settled. But nevertheless, we got a couple different orders for today, and I actually have one that I just picked up today as well that I haven't really got a chance to sleeve up, but I thought I'd go ahead and show those. So we got a lot of Pokemon today, a Dragon Ball Z card, and I think one Y Schwartz card. So we'll start off with the Dragon Ball Z one. So I have a Fatherly Advice, and this is the Judge promo. So I've always really liked this card and wanted to try and get one. And then I finally found a seller, I think actually through a Facebook group, and had a pretty good price on it, and it looked in pretty good shape, and it got a mint 9, so I'm happy with that. I didn't really, as long as it hit the diet on this card, I was pretty okay with that, since it is pretty rare and still a pretty expensive card, so glad to have that. And then, so we'll hit up on some of the Pokemon stuff now. So the first one is a Dark Gyarados that came in a first edition. It was a Gem Mint 9.5, got a centering of 10, corners and surface of a 9.5, and the edges were a 9. So really good grades on there. Trying to finish that Rocket set and try and get it all in a 9.5. Then I had a first edition Spanish Blastoise. This got a Gem Mint 9.5 as well, with the centering, edges, and surface at a 9.5 and the corners at a 9. So very good grades on that. Very happy to get that on there. Next one is a German first edition Blastoise, and the centering and edges were 9.5, the corners were a 10, and the surface was a 9. So pretty good grades on there, and it goes hand in hand with my Charizard. That's in German. And then to finish out that set, we have a German Venusaur from first edition as well. And this one had very good grades. The centering, edges, and corners were 9.5, and the surface was a perfect 10. So very happy with that, and glad to have the big 3 in first edition in German, which is pretty cool. Alright, so the next two, we got a Shadowless Charmander. This got a mint 9 with the centering and edges at a 9, the corners at an 8.5, and a surface at a 9.5. I actually traded for this card from one of my friends, so that one and Charmeleon as well. So that came in a mint 9. The corners and edges were a 9, the centering was an 8.5, and the surface was a 9.5. Alright. And then I got one of the newer Charizards from the Radiant collection. This came in at a mint 9. The corners and edges were 9.5, the surface was a 10, and the centering was an 8.5, which I don't really know. I know the centering was a little off, but I don't see it being that bad. At least an 8.5. Because I've had a few things that were more off-center than this, and they got 9s at least, so maybe I'll try and get this regraded so I can at least get it up to a 9.5. Alright. And then with the generations, I also managed to get one of the Charizard EXs from that set. This came in at a Gem Mint 9.5. So very happy with this grade. The centering was a 9, and then everything else was a 9.5. So very cool grades on that card. Okay. And then next, let's see here, what all do we got? Keep that all there. We got a couple Fossil first edition cards. So we got a Haunter first edition foil. It's got a 9.5. The centering, edges, and corners were 9.5, and the surface was a 10. So really strong grades on that. And this is part of the order that I just picked up today. And then we got a first edition foil Magneton. Got a mint 9. The centering, surface were 9.5s. The edges were 8.5, and corners were a 9. And then we have a couple jungle cards that were the error, so they're missing the jungle symbol. So we got another Victory Bell. This also got a Gem Mint 9.5. The centering was a 9, the corners and edges were 9.5, and the surface was a 10. And another Clefable, which also got a mint 9 like our last one, unfortunately. We're trying to hit that 9.5 on this one. But the centering was an 8.5, corners were 9, and edges and surface was a 9.5. Okay, and then we'll break into some more shadowless stuff. So we did manage to get another Electabuzz that came in at a 9.5 for the shadowless. So centering, edges, and surface was 9.5, and the corners were a 9. We got a Dratini, got a 9.5, and I believe, yep, had the exact same grades as the Electabuzz, with the centering, edges, and surface at 9.5s and the corners at a 9. And then we have a couple foils. So we got a Shadowless Raichu, got a mint 9. Centering and corners were 9.5, edges were 8.5, and surface was a 9. Got a Magneton with the corners at an 8.5, centering and surface at a 9.5, and edges at a 9. And a Gyarados with a mint 9 as well. Centering corners were 9.5, surface was an 8.5, and edges were a 9. And the last foil was a Shadowless Alakazam with mint 9. The centering and edges were 9, corners an 8.5, and surface was a 9.5. Alright, next one is the, we have another CD Shadowless promo Pikachu. And this got a Gem Mint 9.5 with the corners at a 10, centering, edges, and surface at a 9.5. Alright, so we got 2 cards left, so we're going to do the Weiss Schwartz card first. And we got a, it's the SP version of Fairy Tail Wizard Natsu. And this got a pristine 10 with the surface being the only 9.5 on the card. Very cool looking card. I really like the foil pattern on this, and the autograph looks really good. So glad to see that get such a high grade. Alright, so now we got something kind of special. I managed to finally get a first edition Charizard, and it pulled off a Gem Mint 9.5. So this is number 13 in the world of the Gem Mint 9.5s for Beckett. So the centering was the 9, and then everything else was a 9.5 on this card. So awesome, awesome grades. Glad to have this card in a 9.5, and glad to be able to show it to you guys so soon after, I think, I don't know, 1 or 2 videos of having that Shadowless Charizard get that 9.5 as well. So really happy to see this, and hope you guys enjoy this video. And then I do realize that I just got to my 50th subscriber, so I was going to try and do some kind of giveaway. So be on the lookout for that kind of video, and I'll figure out what I want to do for that. But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed it, or if you have any questions or comments, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Take care.